Right, well, for today's video I'm doing something a little different. Normally when I'm out in the mountains I'm basically working on clearing trails or fixing stuff or whatever. But normally I would head straight across that way and down through the trees straight ahead, but I'm not today. I'm going on a nice scenic walk today, a relaxation day. So that pinky coloured bridge up there, that's the Harold Chapman Bridge. I'm going to go past there in a minute. I'm not going over it today. There's many good trails the other side of there. The mountain that you can see straight in front of us there with the stripe across it, that's Banded Peak Mountain. So like I say, today is a relaxation day. I'm going to go and visit some places and basically do the tourist bit today rather than working. Right, on I go. Well, that was a good start to the day. I just bumped into three young ladies there that are heading off up the Nihahi Ridge. Well, they're going most of the way up. Me, I'm going along the flat. I'm wise. Not going to do too much up today. I might do Nihahi Creek. I'll have a look and see when I get there. But yeah, they're welcome to all that up. I haven't done Nihahi Ridge for a long time. Last time I was up there, it's so bloody windy, I nearly got blown off the top. So today, I will stick to this. Yeah. What a glorious day. And it's fairly cool too. I think today is only going up to plus 20, I think. Something like that. The only thing with this trail is most of it's on this old fire road, which is not bad. Yeah. The river's down there. Where I like to go is down that valley over there. That's nice down in there. Glasgow Creek and all that lot. You head up around the mountains. Very nice indeed. Yeah. This, believe it or not, this piece of hill here. Hey, shadow people. Hello. Yeah. This piece here is actually the only bit of hill on the way back. So, if you do this trail, I was just saying to the ladies, there's two ways up Nihahi, and this is the other way. Yeah, takes you to the same place. If you go up there, I think the horses tend to use that on most. They both go to the same place. They go round like a little Y and then join up. Yeah. I've noticed a lot more of these brown signs. It's very nice that they're putting up more signage. It really is. Yeah. Right. Prior to the floods of 2013, this is where nature does its magic, because prior to the floods the road actually went straight on here, but what they had to do, because this literally got completely washed out, what they had to do was build a new trail up on the side of there, which on the way back I may do because the sun will be stronger. Yeah, so as it stands at the moment, if you want a nice little short walk straight up the valley to somewhere nice, look at this. Isn't this good? A lot of people come down here and they'll just spend the day picnicking and playing in the river. You could walk across that river in about 30 seconds, not even. Look at that. That's really low. Yeah. But during the floods, everything that you see here was all washed out by the floods. And it's the water here rose about 8 feet, 8 to 10 feet, I guess. But then you think down in Texas at the moment where they're dealing with that flood, that's a really bad flood. But, you think that water down there in one place, it rose 26 feet in 45 minutes. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. However, looking at the geology of the area, I'm not at all surprised. There is a trail for the diehards that goes up through those trees there, straight up along that ridge, and that takes you straight up Glasgow Mountain, which is over there. That's Glasgow. Outlaw Banded, that's Banded over there, the one with a stripe on it. If you look from Calgary, that little stripe is about 400 to 500 feet of vertical rock, by the way. Yeah, that's not as small a stripe as you might think. Yeah. Right, so I'm going to head out across here. Like I say, this was a road when before the floods, and now it's just like a nice big sandy area. You find quite a lot of people down here on a weekend. Yeah, which is why I'm here on a Monday. Right, I'm going to head down that way another kilometre or two and I'll show you where I'm going. Right, continue along this flat piece of trail here. Up this side, that's all Glasgow, goes up along there. That ridge up there, that's Nihahi Ridge. That's roughly where the ladies were going today. I think they were just going up to what I call the Shaly Corner. See that kind of little saddle in there? That's from here it doesn't look yellow, but it's kind of a yellowy sandy colour shale. That tends to be where a lot of people go. That group of trees that you see just at the end of that shale, that's where I got that time, and the wind was so strong there was no way I was going to make it up onto the ridge at the top there. No way, it was just too strong. I was literally on my hands and knees. The wind would blow me over. And it rips up through that. That there's what I call Shaly Corner. So I think that's where they're going today. So they've got a lot of up to do. I haven't. I've got a lot of flat stuff to do. So if you ever watch this video, ladies, that this is a very pleasant walk along the bottom of this mountain, not up it. I'm not going to rub it in anymore. I'm just going to continue this way up to the new waterfall. Right, on I go. Right, so there's Nihahi Ridge up there. This is the valley that runs up through. It's all on the far side there. I don't know if you can see it. All that mangled steel. Those are I-beams. And that was a bridge. That used to be down there and no longer is. If you knew where the bridge is actually a long way downstream from here. But that's all that's left of it. There's bits of bent metal. Just shows you the power of the water. That's what's left of the bridge. The new bridge that they built is a considerable distance down this way. Well, I'm not going down that far. I'm only going along here. Yeah, it's a very pleasant walk along here. All the flowers around that. Nice. I know somewhere I need to go for a walk. And I shall have to head off out that way, because this time of the year up in the high meadows there, the wildflowers are just insane. Yeah, this is actually quite a pleasant walk along the bottom of here. It's easy going too. This is an easy family walk if you wanted to do a family walk. There are some nice views. Look. Yeah, that piece up there, the Shaly Ridge, I suspect that's where the young ladies are going up to there. Yeah, look at all the wildflowers there. Look at them. Loads of them. Very nice indeed. Right, on I go that way. Isn't that nice? What a great sound, eh? You can't beat that. You really can't. Yeah. This is what tops your batteries up. It really does. Yeah. Nearly round to the backside of Glasgow now. That's Glasgow up there. Nihahi, you can just about still see through the trees. But I'm heading on down this way. Looks like for a family hike. This is actually pretty simple. They put a new culvert in here, but look at it. Did they put a culvert in here? Oh, it's still one of the old wooden ones. Look. Yeah, that's the end of a wooden culvert. Huh. Surprised that's still going. Yeah. They do last a long time, but yes, very nice indeed. Yeah. Yeah, this what I call the sandstone shale. There's all this stuff. It's all this loose shaly garbage. You try and walk up that way. I know people that have been up the top of there and they think, oh, I could just come down there. Don't ever try that. That you get on that stuff, the whole hillside will just slide down the hill and take you with it, cut you to ribbons. Don't ever try that. Yeah. Right, on I go. Right, well, I've just seen the resupply truck going up here. There's a backcountry campground up in the back of here. And they do keep it stocked with firewood, stop people just cutting down the forest. And I just seen him heading up in here. Said to him, that's cheating. I have to walk, he gets to drive. There is, up there, on the side of that mountain, I don't know if you can see it up there, roughly where I'm pointing. There's a piece that goes in there, it's like a little cave. And every time I come up here, I look at that and think, I wonder what's in there. Yeah. Yeah, caves are just one of those things you have to explore. Yeah, just weird, isn't it? You see it, you got to explore it. Yeah. Right, on I go. Yeah, that looks like some good firewood he got in there too. That's good. Stops people cutting down the forest. If every person that comes up here cuts down one tree, you know, by the end of year 5 you've got no forest. You know, you're camping in the desert. So yeah, the only bridge they rebuilt up here is the first bridge, which is the one that you need to get to the campsites. These are backcountry campsites. Usually pretty popular too, because a lot of people bike in on here. This is a very easy, this trail that I'm on, if you're into mountain biking, you can follow this all the way down the valley, down behind like Banded Peak Mountain and Glasgow and all that lot, all the way down to Tombstone and back up the other side. Now I think I'm right in saying that it's about 39-40 kilometers all the way around, which on the bike is nothing. It's a long walk. If you're going to walk it, it's a long bloody walk, and there's some steep uphill too, so it although it is basically road, there is some steep bits of that road too, so good idea not to walk it, I guess. You could, but most people bike it all the way down through here. It's very easy biking. If you're into mountain biking, don't get much easier than this. And I think, like I say, I'm pretty sure it's 39-40 kilometers around. Yeah, isn't that nice up there though? That ridge that you can see right in the distance there, that's the ridge that you follow up to the top of Glasgow. Or you can come up around the back way. There's a back way up Glasgow, up this way, over the bridge and up the hill. Yeah, I say hill, bloody steep hill. Right, on I go. Look at that. New signage. Wow, last time I came here that was just a little piece of post with a bit of tape on it. Right, so if you're going to do Nihahi Creek, which is a really nice little like gorgy trail, I might even go down that way on the way back. We'll go down and have a look. But you go up that trail there. Now if you want to go to the secret waterfall, you go turn left here. Right, here's the creek. Very much. You can follow that up. Now don't be tempted when you're at the top to come back down the creek, because if you come down that creek you'll find yourself at the top of a waterfall that's about 80 to 100 feet of steps all the way down through, and you will hurt yourself because it's rounded rock. So don't go up that valley. If you're going to do that, you go up the trail, and then it's very tempting to try and walk back down the creek to get back out. Don't do that. It's if I got there later I'll show you why. Yeah, not sure I'm going to, but right. So anyway, to go to the secret waterfall that only me and a million people know about, you can actually turn off here, splish splash down the creek a little bit, and what you're going to do, you can hear the sound of the river in front of you. What you're going to do is just keep walking towards the sound of the river, and as you can see, this well-trodden trail down through here tells me that nobody else knows where this is. Yeah. This is what rivers do in the event of a flood. As you can see, this was all washed right out. Down through here, across there, you come down to the main river again. Basically you're just going to follow the sound around to the river. You're going to come to this corner. That's Nihahi Ridge up there. That's where those young ladies went. So by my reckoning, they're probably halfway up the hill where the aeroplane is. Yeah. Hey, somebody put some rocks in here. Not sure why, because it's not exactly deep. Yeah. Right. So you're back down to the river. This shows you what rivers do, because just up around this corner, the river used to go around the corner, and then it decided it was going to straighten itself out. And what we ended up with is a new waterfall, which I can hear around the corner already. Oh, that sounds good. Sounds like a lot of water coming over it too. Oh yeah, there is. Now the original, oh, there's still some water flow over there. Oh, I'll go over there and have a look. Yeah, water flow's creeping back through there. Huh, what'll I be? Right, in the floods, prior to the floods, let me not show you the waterfall yet, save that piece. Right, in the floods, or prior to, the water came around that rock there, and then where that water's coming out there, and then once we had the floods, there was so much water coming down through here, it basically straightened out the bend and carved out a whole new waterfall. And that is what it carved out. Look at that, isn't that nice? This is what I call the new waterfall. So the power of nature. The water originally went around the bottom of that rock face, and then the water straightened it out, and hey presto, this is what we have now. Isn't that nice? Right, I'm going to climb up there. There's some steppy bits here, some steppy rocks. So, look nice. Yeah. Romulus and Remus over that way. I think I can get up to that top piece on that side. I think I can get up through here. Let's have a look. Oh yeah. I've walked across there before now. Not doing that today. Like I say, it's a fairly easy place to get to. It's reasonably flat. The rest of this trail doesn't really go anywhere. I see somebody has made a pathway up through here. Where does that go? I think people are just trying to get further upstream. But this all just becomes really thick in here. Yeah. Isn't that nice? That's the Barrow water. Used to go round. There's some of the debris over the other side there from the floods. That's actually very important habitat. People look at that and they think, oh, with the trees. It's not. It's actually very important habitat. One jump at the bottom. Yeah. Okay. That is nice, eh? Fair and nice. Straightening out rivers. That piece over there, that's Nihahi Ridge. That's the shaly bit, that slope there. Really, really loose shale. When you're stood at the top of there, it's very tempting to think, yeah, I could just come down that. I wouldn't. That is really slippery rock. And it just slides too, because it's all flat. It's not round rock like this. That's just flat rock. Yeah, crazy. Right, this is nice, huh? There is the secret waterfall, or one of them. Not maybe as secret as you might think. I'm not sure I'd want to cross that river there. That looks probably about 2 foot of water in there. It's moving pretty quick. But, right, I'm going to continue out of here and Going to explore up the canyon. Just down here and off to the left is your way out of here. Yeah, so that's Nihahi Ridge up there. And this is nature's magic. Look at this. New shrubs coming in everywhere I look in here. New trees growing everywhere. So if you come up here, don't tread on the trees. Try to avoid stepping on the plants or any of that stuff, because nature will reclaim them. When I first came here, none of these bushes that you see along here, none of this greenery was here. So nature will reclaim it. It always has, always will. Yeah. It's interesting, there's some water flowing out of that piece the other side though. If the creek wasn't so high, I'd wade across there and have a look, but it's pretty high at the moment. If you come down here in winter, before the road closes, that wall over there is all covered in ice. You can see the water's coming out of the rock there. That's all covered in ice. It's not very thick ice, so it's not good climbing ice, but it makes for good pictures, I can tell you. Right, I'm going to head out of here. Well, since I'm down this neck of the woods, I might as well head up Nihahi Creek. It's not too far up. A little bit of a up the hill jobby. Yeah, there was me laughing at those young ladies earlier. Now I've got to do some up. But this is very gentle up compared to where they're going. Yeah. Last time I scared the hell out of a bunch of horses. I pulled off to the side to let the horses go, and the people on the horses hadn't realised I was there. This is a bit rough for horses up here, but horses will make it. Right, on I go and up the trail. This trail up to the creek does have some little views. Once you get out of the trees, the views are much nicer. That's nice through the back of there, isn't it? Yeah. Right, on I go. Lots of loose rock on this trail and a lot of up and zigzags, so on I go. Right, the trees are thinning out a little touch here. This is what I call lookout corner, for several reasons. I'll show you why in a minute. Right, where are we? Okay, so if by some strange decision you decide that you wanted to walk down that valley from the top and follow it down, you will come up this hill, because down in here there's a deep canyon and it's the top of an old waterfall. It's rounded rock. If you start going over that little edge, you are going over the waterfall. There is no way of avoiding it at that point. So yeah, I've been down in there. I took rope with me and I tied off, so I had a way of getting back up. But I can tell you now, it looks very easy to walk down there, but it's not. Right down below me, roughly here, there's a big waterfall drop off. Yeah. So this corner here actually is where I came up, I think. I'm pretty sure. Yes, it is. Yep. Right, so I decided one day, being the explorer-y kind of person that I am, that I would walk all the way down that canyon and see if I could get down to the road, down to the path at the bottom. You can't. You will end up coming up this slope. I can tell you now, it's loose, shale, steep, and very unpleasant to get up. Yeah, so don't go down that way. I call this lookout corner for obvious reasons. Yeah. Just be careful of the canyons. Yeah. Right, the nice canyon where I'm heading is just up around that corner. So I'll put this away until I have arrived at the canyon. Once you've done the first lot of zigzags, it's actually really easy. Anybody that's ever been to Nihahi Creek with the rocks all carved out and all that kind of stuff, that's what this is. Yeah, same kind of thing. It's all limestone. Yes, I'm going to walk up there in a minute. Yeah. But first, let me get down there. Yeah, I'm going to walk up there in a second. It is nice up in there, eh? Yeah. And being a Monday, there ain't nobody here. Only people I've seen is the guy doing the firewood resupply and the three young ladies heading off up Nihahi. That is it. Yeah. just watching my feet, filming this and watching my feet at the same time, so may look a bit bumpy. Yes, need to get down there. What's the easiest way down there? It's nice, isn't it? I'm very careful not to tread on any of the flowers and plants, and that takes a very long time to grow. Yeah, so when you get to here, it looks very tempting to walk down there on the way out. Don't. Yeah. Been there, done that. Don't do it. Yeah, you can get down there a little way, but then you have to scramble up that bank, and the further you go down, the steeper that bank gets, and it turns into another canyon just like this one. Right, I am going to put my hat on just in case we have any small rocks, give you a little bit of head protection. Right. These plants here, I can't think what these are called. These go right back to the dinosaur days. Yeah. Right, now I'm going to try my best to film this without falling over and what have you, so you might get all kinds of hats and sticks and Christ knows what in the pictures. Yeah. Need to get up over there. Okay, I'm going to have to use two hands for this piece, because this piece, I do not want to break my leg up in here. It's easier just to climb down the rock there. Mental note, climb down rock next time, Dave. I'm not sure how far I can get up in here, because there are some big water pools up in here. And as much as I like to explore, I don't like to explore with wet feet. So, I'm also up here on my own. So. No, safest way up across there, I guess. I have really good boots on, by the way, people. Do not do this in crappy footwear. And if it starts raining, get the hell out of this canyon, and fast. Right, that's where I've just come, and that's where I'm going. Let's see how far I can get. I tried to do some filming on the easy bit. I've just come at that big log there, up through the canyon. There's quite a lot of trees down in here, so shit comes to bust. There, you could, if I had a little piece of rope with me, I could get up there, but I'm not going to. Right, so the easy bits I will film, and I don't know how far I can get up in here, because if my memory serves me correctly, there was one rock pool piece up in here that was a bit dodgy, let's just say. I don't know how many millions of years it took to wash all this out. Look at this. It's amazing. Yeah, always have some kind of head protection on. Oh, here's the steep piece. Yeah, the log's broke. There used to be a log here, made it a lot easier to get up this little piece, because this rock is actually pretty slippery. So I will put this away until I'm up there. Well, I've got up that bit. Yeah, that bit's a bit steep. Like I say, it's very rounded rock. That piece I was warning you about downstream, it's very smooth rock, just like this, and it curves away and then drops down a very big waterfall. So don't go down in there. Yeah. But this piece is nice. Yeah, this is Nihahi Creek. Another climby bit. Fortunately, people have piled up a whole bunch of trees and that in here. I've got to climb up that next. Right, so two hands for this one. On I go. Okay, that one's a bit of a climb. Without the logs, you'd never get up there. So if you're feeling brave, go up there. That's about 12 feet down there. Yeah. This is why I come up this canyon. I'm nearly at the top. I don't come down this canyon. It's very tempting. Look at these deep pools. This is why I'm going to get wet feet. Now you watch. I need to get across there, and I don't want wet feet. What do we got? Onto it. A bit of a jump. Another wet pool. I've got really good hiking boots on. They've got like a sand surface on the bottom of them. and even I'm having trouble gripping on this rock. So don't come down here in Lululemons and sandals, you break your legs down here. Right, oh, got this one, a no log. Oh look, there's a log. Let me see if I can utilise that to get up there somehow, and up out the top here somewhere. And here I am at the top. Now if you're a bit, it's not for the faint of heart, that climb up through there. There ain't a lot of handholds. This piece here is a bit tricky. Like I say, going up there is easier than going down it. Now once you've climbed up there, don't worry, you haven't got to go back down it, because there is a trail that goes off up the side of here. So yes, that is the canyon. And now I just get to walk at the top, back along the path, job done. Now you can continue up this valley, and it's very nice up in there. There's not much of a trail, it's very nice up in there, but it's I'm going to head off up to my right here in a minute. Whoop. Climb up the canyon and trip over on a small rock because I'm not paying attention. Yeah. Right, this brings you out into this valley. I can't remember what this valley is called. There is some really good exploring up this valley. Doesn't go anywhere exciting because you'll find yourself up against the mountains, but it's a nice spot. Yeah, you can follow it all the way up, and the canyon's down in there. But there is a trail goes off up the side of here, so if you find your way up the side of here somewhere, there is a trail that takes you back to where we started. Yeah, climb up this rock here somewhere. Yeah, so that was interesting. Not done that in a while. As I get older, I'm not sure I'll do it again. Yeah. Let's say if you're an explorer kind of person, that is a good little walk through there. Oh, parks have actually cleared out the trees. Look at this. Get back up onto the trail. Oh, look at that. Nicely done, gentlemen. Yeah. Yeah, let's say this trail does go on. Well, that was cut this year, but sawdust still there. Yeah, not long ago. Yes. That valley goes off up there. There's some good exploring up there, like I say. Majority of people don't go that way. Then you come to see the canyon. Yeah. There are a couple of places along here you can see into the canyon, but don't get too close to the edges, because I can tell you now, they're quite slippery. Yeah, that's where I just come up through the bottom there. If you're the adventurous type, it's a nice walk up through there. It's short, it doesn't go on for far. There's probably only about 8 to 10 corners, I guess, and then climb out the top and walk back down this trail. Yeah, so that's the canyon down there. I don't know how, I can only get to here, I think. Yeah, I'm not going to go any further than this, but the canyon's down in the bottom of there. Nice, eh? Yep. So what I'm going to do, I brought some food with me. I am going to head back to the beginning of this one and sit there and have a bite to eat. So that's Nihahi Creek. For anybody that's never been here, it's a very nice walk. You can combine that with the waterfall. Actually makes for a nice easy trail. Yeah. But like I say, if you're going to go up through the canyon bit, really do wear good boots. And it wouldn't be a bad idea if you're going as a group. Take a short length of rope with you. It sounds silly, but if you've got like 10-12 foot of rope with you, you get one person up there, it really does help the next group get up. I've done that in the past, bring people out to places like this, and they're maybe not quite as sure-footed as I am, so I'll climb up first and just help. The piece of rope just helps guide them up the hill, that's all. Yeah. Yes. Quite often if I'm out in the mountains, especially if I'm out in the middle of nowhere, I usually carry some rope with me. We usually have 110 foot of rope. Not today. Like I say, this is not a working day, this is a relaxing day. Yeah. I think you can get a reasonable view of the canyon here. Yes, you can, yeah. Right, so that's where I've just been up through. Just climbed up through the bottom of there. Rather nice, isn't it? Yeah. Now do be very careful on the edges. Like I say, they are rounded and it's limestone, there's not a lot of grip on it. When you're coming up through the gaps, there's no finger holds really. You have to use compression holds, just push your fingers out into the rock and push. Yeah, right. So I am going to wander down here, find somewhere to sit in the shade. I'm going to have some food. I need a nice chair-sized rock. I think I spy some. Yeah. Yes. It's rather nice. Quite amazing the way the water washes all that out. Isn't that cool? Yeah. You think how long it took the water to do that? All that water and rock and all that stuff all getting chewed up and pulled out of there. Yeah. Really amazing. I've been up that side too. I went up there one day just to explore. Didn't really go anywhere exciting. I wondered if I could get down the other side. You can't very easily. It's all rocky and yuck. Yeah. So I will find a nice bench to sit on and have something to eat. Right, let's get that done. Oh. Doesn't this make for a good lunch spot? Let's get this off. We'd bring a layer with me just in case, you never know when you might need it. But it also makes a good chair. And here I should have, anybody that knows me, my sausage rolls. Yes. So yep, that was a good climb up through there. That's good. Not done that in a while. Now that makes for good lunch. That piece down there, that's Lookout Corner. As you can see, that's pretty steep. But if you walk down here, that's what you end up having to go up, so don't do that. This doesn't make for a good day out. I don't know what does. I like to bring sausage rolls. They're easy, You can have them hot or cold, doesn't matter. Yeah. But always remember, when you have something to eat, have something to drink. Oh, well, that's good. What I'm going to do is I'm going to head down the valley and I'm going to see if I can find the bottom of the waterfall. I'll see if I can find that for you. I know how to get there. I haven't been there for a long time. I know how to get there, but if I show you from the bottom what's down in there, might discourage people from going down in there, that's for sure. There we go. Right. So if that doesn't make for a good lunch spot, I have no idea what does. Yeah. And one last look at the canyon. Like I say, if you're sure-footed, head up in there. If you're not, if you're a little nervous on smooth rock, just be a little careful. There's no hand holds as such. There's you can push against the rock. It's very easy. You can reach both sides easy. I mean, this gap across is only like 3 feet, so you can get up in there. But it's a little bit hands and knees in places. So, like I say, if you've got somebody with you that's a bit okay with the rock and stuff, just take a short length of rope with you. You only need like 10-12 foot, and that makes all the difference. You need to get up in these places. I've done it before, and it's really quite interesting. You suddenly find out how adventurous people actually are. Yeah. Yes. So off up through there. It only goes up there for a couple of 100 meters, if that. Yeah, but it's very nice place. Good pictures too. Nice photography up in there. Yeah. This is somewhere I'd like to bring my good camera. Actually, I could do so many really nice pictures up through here. Just insane. Yeah, but it's carrying all that gear up here is a backpack in itself. Yeah, it really is. The new GoPro 14 is supposed to be coming out at the end of this year, and if it does, I might be treating myself. So this is the 10 black or whatever they call it, but 14's coming out, and it's supposed to be all new, all singing, all dancing. So we shall see. Right, I'm going to head back down and see if I can find the bottom of the waterfall for you. And don't forget on the way down the trail to really soak in some of these views. Isn't that nice? This bit here is just a gentle plod now, all the way down. Once you're up here, it's really pleasant walking back. Yeah, let's walk along the top. Gonna head down the hill here in a moment. Let's see if I can find that place. I know where it comes out. I just got to be able to find it. It's not easy to find because it's not somewhere that people really go. Yeah. Come up here on a weekday, chances are you'll be the only person up here. Yeah. Right, I need to swap out this battery I've just noticed in my camera, so I will do just that and continue on my way. Right, battery's all swapped out. The gorge bit that you climb through is just up there on that corner, and the big waterfall is roughly down there. As you can see, it suddenly goes from that elevation to way the hell down there, and that's what you've got to watch out for. So yeah. Oh, that breeze is so nice. And look at that, I just found a perfect chair too. Oh, I stopped and had lunch up there. Look at that for a chair. Oh, okay, I can't miss up that opportunity. I've got to sit on that rock. Oh yes. Let me tell you, it's nice and cool sitting on that rock too. Isn't that nice? I can hear the river now. Once you get to this point, once you're up in that canyon, you can't hear the river at all. Once you go over the top of this little hill, you can't hear the river. But from here, you can hear it. And most of the reason you can hear it now is because it had that waterfall. Before it was just kind of a meandering, bubbling kind of river. Now it's got that, like the stepped waterfall there. That's really cool. Right, I'm going to continue downstream. I'm going to head down that way. If this is not a pleasant walk, I don't know what it is. You know, there's a little bit of up to get up this piece, but once you're up here, it's real easy. Yeah. It's a good little destination spot, a little bit of adventure. Do be careful though, because there are rock falls here. If you look over the other side of there, see that yellow rock? That's fresh break. That's where rock has fallen off. See it all crumble at the bottom there? And there's another piece up in there. So when you're up in that canyon, even though there's it's fairly easy, it's not a bad idea to have some kind of head protection on, because it only takes one of these little pebbles to smack you in the head, and trust me, it bloody hurts. Yeah, and if it's bigger rock, it could actually be dangerous. So some form of head protection is not a bad idea when you're up wandering around some of these little gorges and that. See the way the rock is all broken away on the other side there? Yeah, that's all fresh break. Yeah, happens all the time. These mountains, although they look permanent, that mountain there looks like it's not moving, but I can assure you it is. It is slowly crumbling away to sand. It's amazing to think that that was actually debris on the bottom of an inland sea at one point, and now here we are. This is probably what, 4,000 or 5,000 feet above sea level, easily here. Yeah. Well, Calgary's 3,500 feet, and I know I've climbed considerably up here, so yeah. Yep, it's amazing. The world looks static, but I can assure you it is not. Oh, listen to that river now. I don't know how well the camera will pick that up, but that's pretty nice, eh? Yep. Some amazing views along here. If you're into photography, I mean, this is one of the main reasons I live here. I love the outdoor life, and I'm also a real photography nut. That I'm always looking for pictures. Yeah. Look at that. It's nicely framed with the trees there. Yeah. Very nice picture. Right. I will continue down the trail. I need both hands because there's a rocky bit coming up. Yes. The exploration continues. That's a nice angle. Right, down I go. Roughly that way. Right, so I've come down to the bottom of where that waterfall would be. As you can see, looking up there, that's the height that the water's coming from. Right, there's a piece of a step waterfall there. I'm still on top of a step. This next step down that way is about 50 feet. And as you can see, we do have some climbers that use this route because they do have anchor points here. That is a good 50 feet straight down there, so don't do that. Yeah, up along here I can get a little ways further up, but not far. Yeah. The Rock Climber Brigade love all this stuff, and they're welcome to it, but that gives you an idea of how steep it is up in here. Yeah. So like I say, don't walk down that valley. You will find yourself, see that curved rock there? It goes up, and there's another curved rock a little bit further up from that, and you will end up coming down that, and that's about 80 feet down to where I am. It's about 100 feet, I guess. So not somewhere you want to be. You want to be falling off that. Now somebody's cut a log here with some notches in it. So let's have a look and see how strong that log is. There used to be a great big pole here, a big long pole, but the climbing people put this here just to make it easier for people to get up and down there. As you can see, that's a long way down. That pole doesn't sound as strong as it should be, so let me put all this crap away and see what I can do. This is as far as I'm going. I can see anchor points up in there, but I'm here on my own, and that's why you don't come down there, because you'll fall off that. Never wise. So me being an idiot, I've now got to get back down this, so see what I can do. I survived, but let me tell you, going up that piece of wood is way easier than coming down it. So my advice is don't do it, especially if you're on your own, as I am. So yeah, I would not advise that. That's actually a little scary. It's not so bad if you've got a bunch of you here, but yeah, that's the bottom of the waterfall. Ooh. Yes, that wakes you up. As you can see just in front of me, there's another huge drop off. Not somewhere you want to be. For the climbing people, not a problem. For me, it's a problem. Yeah, literally just in front of me there's a drop off there that's about 50 feet straight down. I don't have my rope. I don't have any climbing gear, so I'm sure as hell ain't going down there. And as you can see, this rock is very, very slick, really slippery. Yeah. See down there? Looks like you could get down there, doesn't it? But that's 50 feet straight down onto rock. Don't do it. Yeah. And that's the bottom of the waterfall. Yeah. It's an interesting place to see, but it's not somewhere to mess about. So, yeah. There's a lot of fresh fractured rock on this side too, so I will head out of here up over the side. There's many goat trails over the side of here, so I will head out over here and head downstream. Yes, so for this climbing fraternity, I'm sure this is absolutely easy peasy, but unless you're a climber, do not come up through this valley. But I'm not a climber, I'm just crazy. Yeah. So I'm going to walk out of this valley on this side, because I do happen to know there is an extremely large boulder up there that I have never liked the look of, and I sure as hell ain't going to tempt fate by being down in here on my own. So, yeah. So I will head back down to the trail, which isn't far from here. It's only just down here. People think you can walk up this trail to there. You can't, because that's what's in front of you. Total height there, I should think, is probably a couple of 100 feet of waterfalls. But like I say, great for the climbing brigade. They are welcome to it. Not my idea of fun at all. But I do like walking through canyons. And down through here, look at this, amazing flowers. Yeah, there's a big rock up there. I'm absolutely convinced, I'm surprised it's not down. See, there's that bloody great boulder sitting on that corner right there, and this is all shaly rock, and every now and again you can hear little bits falling off of that, so that is not somewhere you want to stay. So I shall head out of this canyon. It's amazing, all this water that you see is just travelling underneath the rock. This just takes us back to the main trail. What a great sound. The willows like it down in here. I think this water runs pretty much year round. Yeah. Oh, that breeze is nice. Oh, I see some cloud building. Yeah. So you see all this water, and you think I was just up in that canyon, and there's none of it up there. So this is all draining out of somewhere. Yeah. And we're almost back to the main river. Almost. This is the road here. Rock. This is the main road. Believe it or not. Mr. Firewood truck came back through here. Two sets of tracks through here. So he's been out and back. If I'd have timed it right, I could have thumbed a left. Right, so that's the canyon up there. That's the proper trail. Use the proper trail. Stay on the trail. It's one of those things. I added that little piece of video for the where not to go, just basically to show people what is actually in there, because I've had people ask me, can they just walk straight down that valley? And the simple answer to that is no, you can't. You will seriously injure yourself or die coming down that way. So stay on the trail, which is there. Perfectly good trail, stay on it. This road that way, if you follow that, will take you all the way down to Tombstone. I'm not going to Tombstone, I'm heading that way back towards parking, and I'm going to have a sit down on this nice little rock over here, because I've sat here a few times. I'm going to sit on this nice little rock and eat one of the sausage roll. Oh dear. Actually, in fact, there's a log there. Well, first I sit on the log, then a rock. Let me sit on the log. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, this is nice and cool in here. Yeah, I'll take this. This log has my name written on it. Look at that. Dave, please sit on it. Dave, please sit on this chair. There we go. Oh, look at that. It's like nature knew I needed to sit down. Perfect. Right. So that's the Nihahi Creek Trail over there. Down and around that corner over there is where the new waterfall is, as seen earlier in the video. And I'm going to have my other sausage roll. Thanks, I'll be back in a moment. Right, lunch break over. One last look at the junction there. Like I say, straight on is Tombstone. That up the hill is Nihahi Creek. To the left here is the new waterfall. I say the new waterfall. 2013 that happened, so what are we? 12 years it's been there, so I guess it's not that new. For the mountains, it's brand new. It just appeared, but instantaneously popped into existence as far as the mountains are concerned. Right, now the only thing is, you have to walk back on this road, which is why I like to come up here early in the morning, because you get a lot more shade in the morning. Once that sun gets up and high, it's almost right above you here, along here this time of the year. Later in the year, it's actually not too bad at all. But all the way along here, you've got the amazing sound of the river. Listen to that. Isn't that good? Oh yeah, I'll take that. Stay in the shade. It's only 20 degrees, but 20 degrees is still 20 degrees. Yeah. Don't forget your hat. I do have my hat today. Yeah. Helps keep the sun off, that's for sure. Yeah. Right, I'll put this camera away because this road walk's a little boring, and I'll do some more when something interesting turns up. Always remember on the way back just to stop and enjoy at some stage. The road used to go straight on across there. It looks like it washed out. Now I'm going to show you something. If you're ever up in this way and you want a nice little spot, come and sit by the river. As you can see, people have been down here. You get down at the bottom there. See that piece in the bottom there? That is deep. That piece there is about 4 or 5 feet deep. It really is deep, depending on the river flow, obviously. So that nice little corner, it's fairly slack water. So it's a nice little place to come and cool down in the river. That little corner is a good spot. It really is. Yeah. It's a little steep getting down in there. You just go down the sides, but if you're one of these people that likes to just come and sit out and sit in the river for a while, yeah, that's a good spot right there. Yeah. The actual river itself, all the way across here, is only a couple of feet. But that corner, it digs out that corner. That corner's dug right out if you look. Yeah. And it's literally about 4 or 5 feet deep there. Yeah, that's waist deep plus, that is. Yeah, very nice. Right, I will continue downstream that way. I just bumped into a couple of people. They're heading up Nihahi Creek there. But, not a bad place to be. I'm glad I did it this morning when it was a bit cooler. But, yeah, that's nice down there. I've been down there a few times. This bank is a little steep. I've been down there and sat on them rocks a few times. Yeah. Right, on I go, back down the road. Always remember to enjoy the view on the way back. Yeah. There'll be some people up there today, I should think. Very, very popular hike. One of the problems is that hike, you get to the Shaley piece there, there's a bit of forest, and then there's a scrambly uppy bit that's behind there, and then you have to get right up on the ridge. And it can be a bit scrambly and a bit rocky up there. A lot of people do it. It's a very nice place, it really is. Not for the faint of heart. The first bit is easy, a lot of people do it. But to go the entire ridge, wow, look at all the butterflies there. Ooh, look at all that lot. They're all looking for the salts in the ground. Yeah, look at that. Thousands of them. Nice. Right, on I go, that way. Alright, still a bit of Dave tracking skills here. Here's the footprints of the guys that just went up in there. Right, one of them has very badly worn hiking boots on the back, like see. Here's a good boot, there's a bad boot. Bad boot. Bad boot. Like I was saying, when you're going up into a place like that, make sure you have good boots. And one of those guys doesn't have good boots. Yeah, very worn. Literally the back of the heel is literally worn right off. Yeah, I've been following them for some time now. I thought it was just a couple of them that were like that. Oh, here we go. Badly worn, badly worn. Yeah, badly worn. Yeah, I don't know. So people go up in places like that, and they go exploring places, and it, unfortunately, you know, that rock is very, very slippery rock. There's no grip on it whatsoever. I have these boots. They have like sand. It's almost like glass embedded in the Wind River boots. What are they called? Rundle hikers. And the whole bottom of it used to be covered in this like sandy kind of material. But if you walked on a wooden floor with it, literally it would just scratch the shit out of it. But it, when I first bought these boots, I thought they were a bit of a myth. But I can tell you now, on rock and stuff like that, they are brilliant. Okay, some guy down on a bike. I will put this away and get back to you in a moment. Here I am back at the beginning. Got the gates open. Firewood trucks up in here. Yeah, I'm glad they left this bottom one shut, because everybody will be driving up in there. Yeah. That would not be good. Ripping the bottom out of a few people's cars. Yeah. Yes. Yeah, some good trails the other side of there. They really could do with a crossing this side. Some kind of bridge or big stepping stones or something, just to make it easy to get across that side. You can wade across the river if you want. There's actually very nice trails down the other side of there. Yeah, you can head off up Glasgow that way, around the back of that mountain over there. That'll take you into a very nice meadow around the back of this mountain. I can't think of what this mountain's called, but it takes you around the back. Glasgow Creek and all that other good stuff's up in there. Yeah, very nice indeed. Right, I'm just coming down into the campground, so I will put this away. One of the things you can do when you're walking back down through the campsite, instead of walking through the campsite, there's a very nice trail that goes alongside here. It affords some very nice views. It's certainly much nicer than walking along the road. Yeah. This piece is always nice. I like this bit. Yeah. This is not a bad campsite down here. A lot of people come to this site year after year after year. It's a good spot. There is one bridge up here, the Harold Chapman Bridge, which will get you across the other side, the big suspension bridge. We'll go past that in a minute. I'll show you that bridge. And continue on back to where I started. This is a much nicer walk along here than along the road, that's for sure. Yeah. It's pretty steep down there to the river though. I wouldn't climb down that bank. Not when you can get down to the road. Just down and around this corner there's a perfectly good bridge. Imagine the water coming through here in the floods. I can't believe how much it's actually greened up since then. Yeah. That flattish area the other side, that's rather nice. Yeah, that's good down through there. Like I say, some nice trails along the other side. The far end of that trail you'll end up in a swampy bit, so be careful. But, that mountain over there, that's Banded Peak, Outlaw, Cornwall, Glasgow. I cannot remember what this one in front of me is called. Little green one. Been round there no end of times. It's actually a nice walk all the way around. I think it's about 12 kilometres all the way around. There's a reasonable trail around there. The other side of it, it's basically you start at the pink bridge up here, Chapman Bridge, and then You go around in a great big loop and you come back to that bridge. Walking along here is definitely way nicer than walking on Bingham Road, that's for sure. Yeah. Way more pleasant. Yeah. You get up here early in the morning, you can see all the deer in that crossing down in the bottom of the valley here. Yeah. There's some moose down there as well. It's mostly deer. Yeah. Mostly deer. There's a nice lookout corner coming up here in a minute. So I'll put this away until I get to the lookout corner and go from there. Bumped into a young family. They're heading up Nihahi Creek there, Nihahi Ridge. The Parks Office told them, I don't know who at the Parks Office told them this because it's completely and utterly wrong. They told them when they come down Nihahi they can cross over the river and come back down this side. They said there's like a bridge there and all that. No, there isn't. There is no bridge over the other side of there. Absolutely none. You can walk up that side and you get to the bottom of Glasgow and it's nothing but mud and like sinkholes. And I can tell you now, in 2013, all that along the side, there used to be a horse trail along there. They got washed out in 2013. There is nothing left of it. And I will show you over there on the far bank there is a wooden culvert, and that wooden culvert was part of a crossing that you could actually get across reasonably dry feet further upstream. That piece over there on the bank looks like a log. That is actually a wooden culvert. So whoever told them that at the Parks Office, you are completely and utterly wrong. So I've just told the people the correct way to get up there and shown them on the map, and they were going to try and come down the other side there. No, that's just crazy. I don't know who told them that, but the woman is very glad that she got some accurate information. So they've gone off up there and they're going for a day of exploring. It top to bottom, you know, it depends on how far you go along the ridge, you know, 5, 6, 7 hours easy. Yeah, so that's well within their comfort zone. Apparently they're really comfortable out in the mountains, so that's good. But yeah, somebody in Parks told them you could cross over there. There was like a crossing up there and you could come down the other side. No, not unless you want to swim across that river. And trust me, up near the end there where the Nihahi crossing is, where the trail goes off, that is really steep in there, and no, that's not a place to take family and kids. Not anywhere. So not sure who gave them that information, but it is completely and utterly wrong. 15-20 years ago it might have been right, but not now. Yeah. Apparently whoever was staffing the office is a temporary worker there. They're not, one of them's not a hiker and the other one was just a temporary staff member that's obviously not familiar with the area. They're probably looking at old maps, looking at old data. Well, this is one of the things that I do. Gillian Daffron and Tony Daffron, they get me to head on out and check out different trails and explore places like the All Smoke Mountain. Last year I redid the starting route for that, flagged all that up for them. That's going to be in the new book when that comes out. But a lot of the stuff that you're reading in these books is pre-floods, and I can tell you now, most of these river valleys up through here, a lot of the valleys and the trails and everything, they got completely reshaped, closed, disappeared, washed away, all kinds. So take it with a pinch of salt, because I can tell you now, unless you want to wade across that, from where they were up there, they'd had to wade across this probably 3 times to get them back down the other side of there. I don't think so. That's not a safe way to tell people to go. So either way, they now know the correct route. I've done them a proper map. They know where they're going. They've got to come in and out on this same piece of road. Yeah. Good grief. Yeah, just shows you, doesn't it? Local knowledge. You can't beat local knowledge. I've been wandering around these mountains for 30 years. There's not many trails up in here that I don't know. And a lot of where I go is what I call Dave trails. People that come with me, I've taken people out before and they say, oh yeah, I'd love to come with you. And I take them out and I take them on a Dave trail. There ain't no trails, it's just a compass bearing and away I go. Yeah. But I think you would agree, walking down through here is a much nicer walk than down a gravelly road. Yeah. It's damn steep down to the river, I can tell you that. There's a couple of spots where people have made crossings and gone down and all that kind of stuff, but generally speaking, not sure why, because there's a really good bridge up here. Right, I'll called it for now. I'm going to use this as my closeout shot for the video, I think. Just bumped into another young lady, not been here before, but she just wanted a nice short walk, so I just showed her a nice easy route round. But I will call that it. I'm going to head out of here, and thanks for coming. Right, I have to get a picture of that shot. But every time I come here I have to get that shot. Right.